FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All righty, welcome into a Friday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Man, I'm just jacked up today. I'm so excited. I mean, where else would you rather be than in Tampa Bay these days? I mean, it's just the greatest place in the world to live. I'm sorry, it's just, between the golf and a little bit rainy a little bit lately, but I don't know. I'm just on a high today. Even though I think it's maybe in my concussion that I received yesterday after when I was diligently working on the set before the show yesterday. I took a little head injury you ever stand up real quick and then hit your head on something like a steel shelf? Yeah, it doesn't feel good. But I gutted it out yesterday. Gutted it out. No AD here, and I'm back the next. I'm 2 days in a row. I'm here bringing it hard. Not like AD. I'd be out for like 2 weeks if it. AD be like, can't post.
And you learned your lesson. You got the hat back on today.
I got the hat on today. It's a new hat, by the way.
I know. I was like, I haven't seen that hat before. You got a little bull on there.
Yeah, this is the alternate Avila logo. Played a little member guest the other day with Jeff Stanislaw. We were bad.
Not shocking.
But we had fun. We had a lot of fun, as we always do. But yeah, they have a new logo. Their alternate logo is this like bull. It's pretty cool.
It looks like the logo that USF was going to make their logo before they reverse course on it.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun today. Corey Long's going to join us. He covers the Bolts, covers college football, professional football. We're going to talk a little bit of everything with him. Get his thoughts on FSU and Florida, what's going on with that, always plugged into recruiting, etc. At 10:30, Greg Wolf is going to join us from the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's up in North Carolina working the women's lacrosse championships. But he came out with a post with trying to explain to Lightning fans how to root for the Panthers. Like, there's a little toolkit, there's some things to remind you. And I'm like, okay. And I saw Casey Hudson talking about it. Some other Lightning. There are a lot of Lightning fans are having a problem with this. So I thought we could bring Dr. Greg on, and he could kind of talk us through how to root for the Panthers. I'm kind of in on it, but I told you I won't be able to really tell until if it's Dallas, no question. I don't like anything Dallas with their professional sports teams. Nah. No good. But although Luka, I kind of like Luka. But anyway, we hate the Cowboys. We don't like the Stars. It is what it is. But if it's Vegas, I don't know. I kind of have a little soft spot in my heart for the Golden Knights.
That's sad to hear. I'm all in on the Panthers, so I can't wait to see what other techniques I can use for Greg to give me here.
Greg will help me. He already did. I mean, I thought his little soliloquy on Instagram was convincing. And he knows a lot of the people down there. He's worked the All-Star game, so he's got some more affinity for them than maybe the regular. Because there's a lot of Lightning fans that have gone down to games down there, and their fans they're kind of jerky.
A little bit.
They're Miami people. They're jerky. They're not cool, down to earth, blue collar type wonderful people like you find here in the Tampa Bay area. They're LA wannabe jerks for the most part. So I grew up down there. I know of what I speak. So that's why I don't go back anymore.
And Brooks Koepka and his cocaine eyes are perfect.
Oh,
for all those games down there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's your brand. You're Brooks Koepka. That's your brand, right?
Yeah, and Mike McDaniel as the guy.
We're Michael Block. Lightning or Michael Block.
I don't want to be Michael Block after what I saw yesterday.
Oh, you thought he was? I could have predicted 81 yesterday. Are you kidding me?
No, but
he did say he was going to come back and shoot 59 today. Yeah. All right, Tin Cup, chill out a little bit.
Yeah, he also
chill out a little bit.
He also said if he could drive it as far as Rory, he'd be one of the best players in the world.
Wouldn't we all? If we could all drive it 345 and straight.
Let's pump the brakes, Michael Block. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's not go overboard on this story now.
But yeah, Brooks Koepka. What was the rapper? who was banging the stripper in the box, the Florida
Kodak
Panthers.
Black.
Kodak Black. That's on brand for
yeah,
them.
and employing Mike McDaniel of all people to get the crowd hyped. And the Heat have done the same thing.
Mike McDaniel.
By the way, does that guy look like he has any energy to him?
No.
No.
And he's not an imposing figure in any
No.
way. We're bringing Titus O'Neil. They're bringing Mike McDaniel. Whatever. No, see, I'm getting
Oh my!
I'm getting further away,
This was
not
the wrong.
closer.
We're 25 minutes for Greg. This was the wrong thing to do right now. This was the wrong thing. This isn't what we were supposed to lead in with today.
I'm gonna have to. We got Vo Williams, our rapper, who's just the best, and he's just a super high character, wonderful,
By the
awesome
way,
dude.
Speaking of Vo,
And they got Kodak Black.
speaking,
what are we doing here?
Speaking of Vo, do you know he does the opening theme
Yeah.
for Monday Night Raw as well?
Yeah. And
I just figured that out like a month ago.
He's doing stuff for the Lakers too.
Yeah, he's all over the place with these
he's
things.
doing really well, and he is such a good dude, man. I love that guy. Love that guy. All my Lightning family over there, Sonia and Greg and Franzone, all our Lightning Vision people over there.
You're making me sad that we're not playing hockey in late May
know,
now when you mention these people.
I know, but it's all for the best. We're getting healed. We're getting recharged. You know, you can't win every year. You got to give everybody else a chance every now and then. So I'm good. All right, so that's the lineup for today. We're up almost halfway to and Corey Long's going to join us at 10:15, and Paul Wilson at 11 o'clock, and then Greg at 10:30. So there's the show. All right, let's get into it. Yesterday, the Rays get a nice 6-3 win over your Blue Jays, and the story of the day is the $40 million man, the highest paid free agent in the history of the Tampa Bay Rays. $40 million. I think that's so funny. 25 years we've been a franchise, and that's the highest we've ever paid. That's crazy for a free agent. Anyway, he was spectacular yesterday. Absolutely spectacular. Well, he wasn't spectacular at all. He was spectacularly efficient. Mm-hmm. It might be better. He was no strikeouts. He was quintessential Rays baseball yesterday. Weak contact, efficient, and yeah, the $40 million. So he's now 8-0 or 7-0, 8-0.
No, I don't think he's 8-0 now.
I know the Rays have
McClanahan's 8-0.
The Rays have lost 2 games when McClanahan and Eflin pitch. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly what the Rays do. They go out and find guys like this, and as soon as we got him, you know, I'm like looking. First, I look at his overall numbers, and I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see what's go behind the numbers. It's always fun when the Rays make a deal like that. You got to go behind the numbers and find out why they really like this guy. And the first thing you saw was the Phillies were the worst defensive team in the league behind him. Mm-hmm. That was the first stat that I got. I'm like, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Phillies couldn't catch a ground ball. Oh, yeah. He throws a lot of those.
And another thing, number 2 on that list, throws strikes at an elite rate around the rate. Elite rate.
Doesn't walk anybody.
No.
So the Rays are like, And they also saw his repertoire of pitches and how it would fit in, you know, vis-a-vis going in behind McClanahan, Glasnow, etc., and the defense that they're going to put out behind him. And it all makes sense. That you translate that. It's like, don't change a thing, Zach. Just be who you are. Be durable. Be a strike thrower. Get the ball on the ground. We'll take care of the rest. Mm-hmm. Voila. There you go. Quintessential Rays baseball right there.
The whole series.
Rays 101.
The whole series was quintessential Rays baseball. Yeah. In a way. Yeah. What happened on Tuesday night? I don't know. They didn't play on Tuesday, did they?
What? The one they lost?
Yeah, they didn't play on Tuesday, right?
No.
No, we swept. We got a sweep, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, we'll call it a sweep.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good weekend. You know, coming off the road trip where they went 4-6, and you come back out and get 2 big series wins ahead of the Dodgers series, which I'm fired up for, by the way.
Yeah.
The return of Tyler Glasnow is tomorrow. And it's Glasnow versus Kershaw.
Wow.
Marquee. That's beautiful. Right there.
What
during
time is that game?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, right in the middle of the day.
I'll be working the Pro Padel League weekend again. Looking forward to that. Come on out and see me in Zephyr Hills.
I'll be unfortunately on a beach tomorrow.
Are you?
At that time.
Oh, you don't like that's right. You don't like the beach.
Well, this is a photo shoot.
You already got married. That's the only photo shoot you should have in your lifetime.
Apparently we need photos with the dog too. So
let me guess. You've hired a professional photographer for this?
I have hired nobody. I have hired nobody. So unfortunately,
photo shoot with the dog at the beach.
So unfortunately, I will be at the Fort DeSoto Beach. I believe is where I was told I need to be.
Yeah, because that's the only dog beach. That and the one up in at the island, which is the one you should go to, because you go on a Saturday to DeSoto, where they have the dog area marked off. Or you think you're finding some private place to get a photo shoot?
I don't know what to expect. I'm going in blind. I'm being told. I'm just going.
There's going to be 700 dogs there and 400 boats. And if you're looking for are you going early or late when it might clear out or something? You're going at the golden hour?
It's like 6 o'clock, 6:30 is what I was told.
PM.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got a better shot. Absolutely. You got a better shot there. But photo shoots. So that's 2 photo shoots in a year.
A lot of photo shoots. I thought I took all the photos I needed for the rest of my life in the past couple months, but apparently
years
not.
to photo shoot ratio is off to a terrible start in your marriage.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm good at them though. Every photographer compliments me. Every single photographer I've ever been in front of has high compliments for me.
Well, then I guess standing there and not giving a shit is something.
It worked. Apparently it works.
This is what they're looking for. I'm sorry, Casey. I'm sorry. We just have.
She's been busting my balls all week. She's like, "Can't you get excited for this, please?"
That should be the line of the day right there. So standing there and not giving a shit means you're doing it right. That should be your profession. Nick is the king of that. I'm just going to stand here and act like I don't give a shit. Yeah. Perfect. Make love to the camera. And then you got to corral the freaking dog trying to get Riley to sit in the right. What a nightmare!
It's just I just seen
somebody set up a camera and just record this for me, please. This is gonna be great. God damn it, Riley! Stop licking your balls.
He's gonna have one of those rockets, that comes out of him too. Every time he goes to the dog park, that's exactly the first thing he does. He swims in the beach a little bit, and then every time. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting the worst.
Oh my God, so funny. Yeah. So anyway,
as I diverted us away from.
So you won't be watching the game. No, you hopefully will have just watched the game.
Yeah, by the time I have to leave,
you'll be watching on your phone driving over.
By the time I have to leave, Glasgow will have been well out of the game. So
yeah, all right. So,
but I won't be in the stadium, is what I meant. I wanted to go to the game.
Yeah,
but I won't be there.
I was thinking about going tonight, but the tickets are ridiculous, right? You did the ticket sweep for the Dodgers.
It's not great. No.
Tonight, so $60 is like the cheapest ticket in the outfield.
For the outfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight's $50. It's a little bit cheaper tonight.
Yeah.
But very expensive Saturday.
Yeah, go for the big game. That's just I'm not dropping that kind of cash. Anybody wants to give me a free ticket, I might go, but I'm not doing that. But I'll watch. I definitely want to watch this series. It's cool that the Dodgers are coming in, World Series.
I don't think we've played them either since. And I thought I saw this is the first time we played them at home since 2007, is what I heard.
Wow, yeah.
Goes back a long, long time.
Yeah, Andrew Friedman will be coming back home. Are we gonna have a video for him? Are we gonna have a video for Andrew? Is he gonna jump out of the dugout like KK did? Ooh, like freaking Spider-Man. He was out like, hey, it's my video. It's my video, everybody. Here I am. Of course, you wanted me to come out, right? I have to lift the cap.
Did you miss him, by the way? He said he was going to make the Rays miss him. Did you miss him?
No.
No.
Jose Sirius taking care of that.
Jose Sirius had a great series, didn't he?
Yeah, he did all right.
What did Kiermaier go, like 2 for 12?
When you go from, when you up class and you get somebody hotter, you don't remember the old one. You really don't. You kind of, who? What's your name? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, look what we got now. We're good. And much cheaper, by the way. Much cheaper. We're doing.
Is this
well.
one of the few times you're complimenting the Rays for spending less?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
We all knew that at some point, they were going to do this, but I had no problem with it. I mean, if we were allowed to have a big boy payroll, it'd be nice to keep him. Sure, if we could have both guys. That'd be great.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah, you're good.
Mister, I can't wear contacts for a decade, but now all of a sudden I can because I'm in Toronto, and I can wear my little Oakley goggles.
Oh, Trisha looked good in those Oakley.
She did.
Those are nice. Yeah, but yeah. Thanks for finally getting contacts. Like, do we not have a contact? Do we not have any ophthalmologists in Tampa? Like, Jameis couldn't find one, and KK was here 10, 12 years, couldn't find an couldn't get it right.
I don't know.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Corey Long's going to join us. Covers the Bolts and college football and professional football, all around Renaissance man. We'll chat it up with him. See what's going on at Bucks OTAs and college football. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll hit it with Corey Long when we come back. Thanks to the Jeeves Law Group, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Italiano Insurance, Golden Diamond Source, Extravaganza Productions, and American Mortgage Services. All our great sponsors. We love you. Back in 3. Guys, are you experiencing those feelings of getting older, lower sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, or you just don't feel like you had the vitality you once had? It's a chronic problem here in the United States. You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well, so do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Look, testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability, not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work. You call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to jeeveslawgroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to jeeveslawgroup.com.
Coming back at you.
Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I'm playing hurt again today. Concussed, cracked my head open yesterday, but, here I am posting each and every day. That's right. It's what you people pay for. You better. My huge salary.
Are you calling me out for taking a sick day this week? That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, subconsciously I am. Because your tummy was a little upset.
You know what? You would have seen me constantly going back and forth off this camera.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
On Monday. I don't think anybody wanted to see that.
Corey Long joins us now, who covers the Bolts and college football for Walter Football and professional football, knows more about football than anybody I know. What's up, partner? How are you?
I'm good. I know nothing about football. I fake it really well, though.
Yeah, well,
I'm solid in that aspect of it.
Have you ever taken a sick day because your tummy's a little upset? You ever taken? Or do you just post and go to work like me? Nick had to take a sick day on Monday because he puked 12 times on Sunday.
If I stub my toe, I might take a sick day. Who knows with me? I might take a sick day if I just didn't wake up and feel good, feel like working.
I love that energy. I love that
All right,
energy.
true story is. True story is last sick day last sick day I took is when I had the game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year when I had the coronavirus. I had tested COVID positive like Monday, which was after game 3, and I did not work game 4. But that was but I came back and did game 6. It wasn't my symptoms weren't bad at all.
So you missed one game because of
I missed one game. I missed one game because of coronavirus, and luckily they were on the road in game 5, so it kind of so one game was like a 4-day break.
I think
that was exactly what I needed.
I think you have to do that anyway. By the way,
yeah,
when you're
it was
you had no choice.
At that point I think it was 72 hours minimum.
They throw you in the gulag if you'd have showed up. No way, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So that was all right. So that's good. I've always been, pretty much. I like working. So like when I'm sick, I don't necessarily like laying around and just wallowing in self pity for the most part. Like Nick's very good at that.
I admitted that it was for an awful 48 hours when you can't do anything.
I will say this, and Corey, have you ever had food poisoning or stomach flu?
Oh God, yeah. It's miserable. It's miserable.
I would agree with that. That was one of the worst 24. I've got food poisoning. I'll never forget. It was one of those Chinese buffets in Tallahassee. Back in college, like all you can eat. And I used the duck sauce that had probably been sitting on that table for about 15 years.
Yeah. That duck sauce had been there since like the Carter administration.
It was a little fuzzy. I should have known. Right off the bat. I swear to God, that was the worst day of 24 hours of my life. The girl, thankfully, the girl I was dating at the time was a nurse. And
that's good.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of tender love and care, but it was horrible. It was horrible. Kind of like the Bucks offense last year. Professional transition right there. Made me want to puke.
Very good.
Almost every week I watched it. But I'm looking, and I know I'm a fool, and I'm just like, I'm getting so excited about, waggles and bootlegs and RPOs and all this crazy stuff we're going to be doing that we've never seen before. And I got a quarterback that can actually run around and throw the football on the run. And if a guy's coming at him, he might even have a chance to sidestep him. I mean, far be it from me, Corey, to speak, ill of the departed. But I'm kind of looking forward to this iteration. Am I just stupid?
I'm not looking forward to Baker Mayfield at all. No, not at all. Not in any way possible. I get that he does things that obviously the last guy couldn't do, but the last guy did a lot of things that Baker can't do, namely
Not
win.
last year.
Yeah, the win
Not
part is a big thing for me.
If I could get 21 Brady or 20 Brady, I would love it. But 20 and 21 Brady are long gone.
20 and 21 Brady were a little rough to watch.
20, no, they were great, but 22 Brady was.
22 Brady was
stomach
21 Brady was actually fun to watch.
He was great.
22 Brady was tough, man.
That was stomach flu Brady.
Yeah, 22 Brady was tough just because it's always tough to see to see him deteriorate right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
That's the hardest. Is when week to week you look, he ain't got it. He definitely ain't got it. He really doesn't have it. And it's like,
that was bad.
Please, it's like, and every week you're hoping for, it's like, every week you're like, hopefully this week he's got like maybe somehow he can, he can just jump in the old time machine for a week and give us no, not this week. Not with Micah Parsons chasing him down.
Nope.
He ain't doing that this week.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, the problem is with Mayfield when he runs and he starts doing all that stuff. It's bad results usually. That's when it gets bad.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this though, it won't be like all right for me. Watching Jameis is as much of a roller coaster as he was. It was a fun, crazy roller coaster. It was like the one that it was like the one that you really had to think twice about jumping on. But once you do, you're like, oh my God, that was the best 3 minutes I'm gonna have in my life. That was just everywhere.
But when it came into the station, you were like, oh God, thank God, it's over.
Exactly, it's over. But it was amazing while it happened.
It's so true. It was always entertaining. I mean,
oh my God, yeah. It was like this guy's gonna throw. He's gonna throw for 360. We're gonna get 4. We're definitely gonna get 4 touchdowns. We might get 4 picks too.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what we're gonna get today.
Like back in my TV days, you know, having to cut a buck highlight with Jameis Winston at the helm down to 45 seconds or a minute 15 would be impossible. You can't do it because you got to have every pick six and every 40-yard touchdown and every 30-yard Fred Sanford scramble around, throw it behind your back, and somehow find a receiver. It was. I mean, we forget. Jameis gets a bad rap, but there was a lot of entertainment value in that. There really was.
I don't really understand why he can't, why it's been so difficult for him to start in the league. I mean, I do think he's, I look at it and the thing is, I think too many people spend too much time trying to tame him. I wish he would have had more time under Sean Payton. I think that would have been a pretty decent match for him. Because if you, to me, and you and I have watched him since he was in college. It's like if you let him be him, it's like you're gonna regret it some days, but some days you're gonna enjoy it. He did throw for 500 yards against the Raiders, I think it was, or something like that. He had crazy fun games.
Yeah.
And it was like the receivers were never, the receivers knew they were gonna throw the ball. They were gonna get some passes.
Yeah.
So it was
fun. Hey, let me. So you're not okay. So you're not on the Baker Mayfield. Do you think Trask is going to start?
No, God, no. I didn't say. I think Baker's going to start. I don't think they're going to win. But God, I wouldn't sacrifice it by playing Kyle Trask.
Yeah, I am getting sucked into this whole Dave Canales thing. I'm running around in Baker Mayfield.
Fine.
I
get it.
I think they're going to be better offensively. Seriously speaking, I think they'll be better offensively, middle of the pack. But to me, it's the head coach, man. I love him to death as a human being, but I just have no confidence in him after what I saw last year. You can't fire an offensive coordinator who's not doing what you ask him to do. Well, then you can't be a head coach in this league. If you don't have the stomach for that, then I don't know how you survive. And the game management, that's still my biggest question mark. What about you?
Yeah. The question marks, there's some on the sidelines. I mean, I think the offensive line will be okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they didn't have any problems moving Wirfs to left tackle is a good sign, because I'm like, if you think, and not every coach thinks this way, if you think your left tackle is your best offensive lineman, then he's got to be there now. I get why he wasn't there in the past, but yeah, if he's fine, if he's your left, and Jensen's healthy, that gives you two really elite players still. Too high, Wirfs is elite. Jensen's probably maybe a tad below elite as he's getting older, but those are two guys that are going to give you all pro at worst, play up front. So that's good. Running the ball, I think, is going to be a big thing. I think, you have to run. You have to be able to run. And it's not so much that you need to, that we're looking at, ground it, pound it, but you got to be able to get explosive plays out of your running game, which they just weren't able to do because they didn't have the backs to do it. You got to get a back in there that can give you some big gains, even if it's not, high usage, high average, but you got to have a back that can catch passes and a back that can give you some explosive plays. You got to, and those things will definitely make, if you look at the one year that Baker had success in this league, it was with, Cleveland had a big offensive line, had two very good running backs, had Odell Beckham, I think was Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry were their receivers. So, he had a lot of tools around him that, you kind of, that helped them from making so many mistakes.
I think the Bucs have those tools. I think they
do. At the receiver spot, absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the line, it feels like they do.
Yeah, and I like Rashad White. I think he's going to have a big year.
Yeah, that's the big thing. The big thing is getting explosive stuff out of the running game is going to be a telltale sign of success.
So if I told you Florida State is going to be out of the ACC in 2 years, what would you say, and where do you think they're going? SEC or Big Ten?
I would agree, and I don't know where they're going. To me, the fact that they got this 7 group and then you start looking at it. Well, who wasn't involved in the 7? Louisville. Well, Louisville's going to go. They would go wherever.
Of course.
They're a bunch of. Then it's like you start. Who else was not in there? If North Carolina goes, it's almost like you want to take Duke. Duke is a global brand. People forget this. Like Duke is a global brand basketball-wise.
Yeah.
Like that's key. So Michael Alford, he wants to be a conference commissioner. I look at the way he carries himself. He's fine being AD at Florida State, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's really doing a great job at looking after, his assets. But I can look at a guy and say when a guy has great aspirations, and I wouldn't be surprised if they look at the landscape and say, if we can get 10 to move with us from the ACC, and maybe we can kind of figure out something else, can we get 12 and do our own thing? And become a power conference, because if you got FSU, you got Miami, you got Clemson, you've got North Carolina, you've got enough. You're going to get accepted in the power conference world. They ain't going to toss you in with the American,
right?
So
just start your own conference. Go start your own conference. Start a new conference, and you get out of the grant of rights deal that you've given.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And maybe go poach a couple from the Big 12, or maybe what's left over the Pac-12.
Yeah,
I think
at that point you look at markets. You're looking at markets. It might be a situation where we want to get into Texas, so you could take a team like SMU that plays into Dallas, or you might go. You might even go dumpster diving and say we'll take two. We'll take two mid-major teams that have
USF.
that have structural that have structural bones. That have structural bones that they have a stadium. They have they have some success in football. Right. They have some things that we can build around that will help us. That that they could be a solid football program.
Maybe Colorado. Pilfer.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah. I mean, Colorado, I think, is definitely not long for the Pac-12. I think part of the reason why they bring in Deion is like we want to move conferences and be in a better spot.
A national brand, yeah. So start a whole new conference. Go get Colorado and Washington.
We got airplanes now. We got to worry.
That's right. I've heard of that. Yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
Sure, we bring back the Concorde if we need to. We got to get guys fast, get guys from one place fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, my friend, we got to roll. It's always fun to talk to you. As always, give me a Bolts take on the way out, because we're going to have Greg Wolf on next, and he's going to teach Lightning fans how to root for the Panthers.
Give me a Bolts take.
Yeah.
Well, root for the Panthers. It was easier when they were playing the Maple Leafs. That was fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bolts take. They're going to sign Tanner Jeannot before the draft. Alex Killorn is gone. Ross Colton's going to get traded, unfortunately.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot right there. We have to get you
there
back.
You go.
All right, we'll get back on next week to talk about that. All right, cool,
Absolutely.
man. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate
it.
Follow him on Twitter at Corey Long, CoreyLong. Always a great follow, and so fun to get on here.
It just hit me with like a load right there.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Holy crap. We got a whole show right there.
Yeah, look, we're getting him back on.
We just gutted the Lightning's roster, and FSU created a new conference. Jesus, what the hell just happened there?
The best thing he said there was when you were like USF, and he's like,
no. I was so dismissive.
And then he followed it up with structure. And
like good at football. Ouch, babe.
Oh, gosh.
Ouch, babe. All right. Greg Wolf coming up next. He's up in North Carolina, but he's going to give us a primer, as we like to say, on how to root for the stinking Panthers. Okay. I'm all ears. Anybody can do it. It's him. Quick break. Back in 3. Stay with us.
During COVID, over 1.7 million people were added to the Florida Medicaid rolls, but as of April 1st, 2023, most of these people may not be eligible for the Medicaid coverage and will lose their health plan. If you have been notified you are losing your coverage, don't freak out. It's very likely you can apply for a federal subsidy under the Affordable
Hey, JP here for Extravaganza Productions Incorporated, EPI. You've probably seen their purple logo at so many events that you've gone to. They are based in Tampa, and for over 33 years, they've been creating and producing conferences, meetings, and special events, the biggest to the smallest. Solid reputation of delivering the best audio-visual, sound, lighting, entertainment, video production, and decor on time and on budget. I've worked with them with so many big events. The Warrior Games, which was an Olympic-style event all over Tampa Bay, from McDill to the Convention Center to USF. They did it flawlessly, made it look big and fantastic. I've worked with them on small events as well, large and small meetings and conferences, sporting events, fundraisers. If you got a fundraiser, you don't know the logistical way to pull it off, they'll take care of everything. Entertainment events, branding events, grand openings, so much more. The folks at Extravaganza Productions are the most professional and the best. I've worked with them many times. They are fantastic. You can contact them through extravaganzaproductions.com or call 813-621-4700. Extravaganza Productions, they are awesome.
Coming back at you.
Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESlawgroup.com. If you've been involved in an accident, great folks to call. Scott Jeeves comes on the show all the time, very approachable, easy to chat with, so don't be intimidated. Just make the call. It's a free call, whatever your legal issue is. Just say you want to talk to Scott or find out what if you have a case, JeevesLawGroup.com. All right, let's roll on up to Cary, North Carolina, I believe, where we find the great Greg Wolf, Lightning in-game host, CEO of Street Laced Promotions, all about town, greatest MC in the world. What's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm good, JP.
What's the women's lacrosse thing like? That sounds kind of fun.
Listen, man, I am blown away, first of all, by the facility up here in Cary, North Carolina at Wake Med Soccer Park. I actually tweeted out yesterday how amazing the pitch looks out here for the semifinal action, which will be today on ESPN2. The championship game on Sunday will actually be on ESPN, the regular ESPN channel, I believe, at 3 o'clock. So it's some intense action out here. I mean, obviously we know lacrosse in Florida is just really kind of making its way down now. I do believe USF is going to be picking up women's lacrosse, I believe either this season, or next season. So it's starting to migrate its way down south, but obviously it's been a predominantly up north sport. Maryland's been to this tournament 37 times. I believe they kind of own the crown. But obviously, the up north schools, North Carolina, the Johns Hopkins, the Dukes of the world, they're pretty much the primary, main teams. But in this tournament, there's been a lot of upsets. You've got number 5 Denver is taking on the number 1 ranked Northwestern Wildcats, and then BC, Boston College, will be taking on Syracuse today as the 3 and 2 seed. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a good time up here in Cary.
That is super cool. Yeah, and I tell you what, the girls that play lacrosse are fun girls. I mean, they're serious. They're serious athletes. That's for damn sure. And they're fun.
So the one thing I recognize right off the rip is the guys, they use full helmets with the face masks, and they're kind of padded up. The ladies literally just have these like eye guards that are like metal eye guards, and that's it. That's it. They are just warriors out here, dude. No pads, no shin guards. Wow. The goalies just wear a chest protector, and that's it. I'm like, you are crazy out here.
I tell you, they're a different breed. All right, so I wanted to get you on the show because I read your great comment the other day about cheering for the Panthers, because I'm trying to find a rooting interest here in the finals. Dallas won last night, but it'll be Vegas and Florida. And
we don't know yet, JP. I mean, there's still more hockey to play. You never know. Don't count Dallas out just yet.
First of all, I got a bone to pick with the Nature Boy. The Nature Boy.
What is that all about, dude?
In his Stars jersey last night going, woo, woo, in your Stars jersey. What are you doing? What was that?
I'm like, I agree with you on that one, man. I was like, come on, Rick. You're from our area. Don't be cheering for Dallas now when everybody's seen you at Lightning games. Come on, Nature Boy. What are we doing?
So how do I root for the Panthers, though, man? So I had some people on Twitter saying, look, when I go down there, their fans are so rude, they're so nasty, and now you want me to root for their fans are jerks on Twitter. I can't root for them. So I hear it. So what do we do? Give us some tools, Greg.
All right. So I'm with you. All right. So it's almost impossible, right, to cheer for our in-state rivals. But at the end of the day, looking at the teams that remain, if there's one thing we can hold our hat on, it's the fact that the Eastern Conference belongs to the state of Florida. The last 4 years, nobody, the original 6 teams, no Canadian teams, nobody can touch the state of Florida. And so if there's anything that you have to hang your hat on or embrace, it's the fact that our home state team is the one that is still competing for Lord Stanley's Cup. We don't take pride in the fact that, we're not saying we cheer for Florida Panthers. We're cheering for our home state. We're not cheering for Vegas. We're sure as hell not cheering for Dallas. So you might as well back the team that represents the state that we live in. And at the same flip side of that, let's be real, right? You have to give credit where credit is due. Respect is not given. Respect is earned. We know how hard it is to play in the National Hockey League. Nobody thought that the number 8 seed was going to beat the Boston Bruins, the best season ever in the National Hockey League, President's Trophy winners. Nobody saw that coming. So the fact that they overcame a 3-1 deficit to beat the Bruins, then they take out Toronto. Thank you very much. We shut that fan base down. That was great. But to see Toronto lose and then sweep the second-ranked team in the NHL with the Canes, I mean, that is remarkable. So at the end of the day, give them their respect. They have earned the respect. We don't have to cheer for the fan base. We don't have to do any of that. We just need to cheer for the fact that the home state of Florida is still competing for Lord Stanley's Cup, and the fact that it's our rivals down the street. That should not matter. We just need to cheer for the state. You don't have to cheer for the fans or any of that. Just cheer for the state because, again, Tampa, ladies and gentlemen, is in Florida. So that's what it comes down to. So we're not saying we're Florida Panther fans. We're just saying cheer for the home state. That's all.
I grew up down there, and I still feel like it's not even in the same state. We're so different than Miami.
Dude.
We're more Georgia than we are South Florida. Let's be honest.
You can't really compare the two. They're just totally different worlds. But I'm just, I'm happy for them. I mean, I was
a lot of people that work down there, so I get that.
For the All-Star game, which obviously was down in Sunrise this year, we were very fortunate to be able to work side by side with the Florida Panthers contingency. And, man, they opened their arms to us. I mean, it's complete Southern hospitality at its finest. And so they're really nice people down there. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're going to have a chance to get a ring as well. So, like I said, it's all love and respect, and that's really what it comes down to. Nobody's a Florida Panther fan that's a Lightning fan. We're not saying any of that. We're just saying if you're looking for any silver lining in this, it's simply the fact that a Florida team is competing for Lord Stanley.
Yeah, okay. All right. I like it. This is what I needed. I have a rooting interest now. I'm all in on that. So you don't have to worry about the fans. You're not rooting for the fans. You're just like, let's keep it in Florida and give the finger to the original 6 and everybody else up north. Okay.
I mean, why not root for Carter Verhaeghe? Why not root for Radko Gudas? Those were guys that were on our team. They made an impact when they were here on our team. Same thing with Jonathan Marchessault. Like, I'm not a Vegas fan by any shape, way, or form, but I'm glad to see Jonathan Marchessault is having success. These are all Lightning. These guys were Lightning guys. So, if anything, you can cheer for those players as well, man.
I like it. Hey, I hate to tell you this, but our good friend Corey Long just dropped a bomb on the way out. He was on before you. He said, Killorn's leaving, Colton's getting traded, but we will sign Tanner Jeannot. Those are predictions. So I'm like,
I mean, we know it's going to be tough. We're not going to be able to keep them all, right? We already know that.
Right.
I don't foresee Alex Killorn taking a hometown discount to stay here, but you never know. These guys, sometimes it's more about the prestige than it is about the money, but I doubt it. Colton, I mean, he's got value. He's got a lot of value. So, I mean, is that a piece that they need to use in the chess game? Maybe. Tanner Jeannot, I don't think is going anywhere. We obviously signed Asimov, who is playing with Team USA right now, who's crushing it. So, yeah, I mean, again, we have to look at the reality of the old versus young on our team, and we're going to have to keep the youth. The youth is part of the future. So, I mean, that's just a reality, guys. It's a business at the end of the day. We know we're going to lose some favorites, but hopefully it's all for the better in the long run.
All right, you got anything to promote this weekend or anything? I'll be out at the Pro Padel League. That was awesome.
I know you've been crushing it out there with our Street Lace crew and DJ Matt Links at the Pro Padel League. Again, we're going to be back there this weekend and a couple more up into the championship. So shouts out to the Extravaganza crew and our Street Lace crew and JP for crushing it out there. And I'm just going to be rocking it. You might hear me on ESPN on Sunday if you're watching the championship game, which, again, we're doing our thing here for the lacrosse tourney. So,
all right, brother. Man. Thanks, man. I appreciate you hopping on. That was great. That was fantastic. You nailed it, as you always do. The great Greg Wolf right there. Follow him at Third Leg Greg on Twitter and Instagram. That's he makes great points. Now, I'm also sitting here going, the Florida Gators and Miami are from the state of Florida. I can't root for them in my heart of hearts. But I do find myself actually Miami, no. Miami, the Gators, though, I kind of have a little.
Miami,
I've grown to respect their, what they've been able to achieve.
I was going to say, Miami, I can't bring myself to root for them. In fact, it's much more fun whenever they lose big games.
Oh, God, yeah. I revel in that.
Florida, on the other hand, I feel like way differently about. Yeah, I'm fine. If Florida was in like a national championship, no matter what sport, as long as they're not playing Florida State or UCF, whichever, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm a huge Tebow fan. I covered both of those national championships, and that was a great team. In the two basketball national championships, I covered that with Donovan and
there's certain
and Horford and the whole gang.
Like there's certain you could do this. You could do this for like every sport. Like in the NFL, I'm not rooting for the Saints to do anything.
No,
right? We'd all agree.
No.
But when it comes to the Panthers and the Falcons, it's harmless, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not the same.
Yeah.
When it comes to MLB, I ain't rooting for the Yankees to do anything.
I can't do it. Never.
I'm not doing it for the
Red Sox.
Nope. Toronto's getting to that point where I'm not rooting for them. But Baltimore, you know what?
Plucky little birds they are.
Yeah. We could let Baltimore do something.
Yeah. Finish second.
And by the way, I meant to bring this up too. I mean, remember the old Southeastern Division in hockey when we had 3 divisions before they realigned?
Yeah.
That division was the Lightning, the Hurricanes, the Capitals, and the Panthers.
Right.
Right? And then the now defunct Atlanta Thrashers.
Right, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, it's how much has that conference dominated the past history here?
Yeah.
Because you had Washington in 2018. Carolina has gotten to the conference final twice since then. The Lightning have gone to 3 finals. Now Florida's there. Shout out to our old Southeastern Division.
Yeah, it's just bizarre to me with all the resources and attention that hockey is given in Montreal and Toronto, especially, that they can't do anything.
No.
What the hell is going on? Vegas, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Miami.
Yeah, the southern part
this is not the original 6.
All the southern markets are dominating right now.
And it's not just, they haven't been good in a while. They haven't done squat. The Leafs since 67. The Canadians since 93 win a cup. Mm-hmm. And you got to luck into something at some point.
When was the last
They had won a series since 2004, Toronto.
So when was the last cup that a team in that northeast section / Canada won it? It was Boston in 2013, right? Yeah. Pittsburgh won 2.
Pittsburgh won 2.
Pittsburgh won 2.
17, 15, 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh got 2, and then Boston.
Yeah.
But, when was the last time? The Rangers, you go back to 94.
Yeah.
Devils, you go back to 03.
Flyers.
The Flyers, my goodness, we're going way far back. The Islanders, we're going a long ways back.
Yeah.
Any other teams I'm missing up there in that?
Devils, had their run.
Yeah, but really, the Northeast has not been great outside of Pittsburgh, I'd argue.
No, it's been St. Louis. It's been, Tampa Bay.
Colorado as recently, obviously.
Yeah, the Avs. Yeah, really, there's not, the Kings and
the Kings have 2 cups in the last decade or so.
It's a warm weather sport, clearly. Clearly, it's a warm weather sport. No doubt about it. Thomas Casper says pan turds, and he reminds me that your cell phone takes pictures if you need. You don't necessarily have to hire a photographer.
I've brought these points up before, but they fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry about that.
I will say this though, a professional photographer is way better than your phone. I mean, you get it done. You can edit the pictures. I get it, but the professional photographers aren't. It's not like they're paying them $5,000. Maybe a couple hundred, maybe. Who knows?
I don't even know what we're paying.
You don't even want to know, do you?
No,
You don't want to know?
No. All I know is if anybody was
It
at
reminds me of that meme
if
somebody
anybody-
keeps sending me. It's been going around. It's a big beefy guy in a grocery store with his wife. They're going through buying stuff. He comes up with a 12-pack of beer, and she goes, how much is that? He goes, it's like $15. She goes, hell no, put it back. So she picks up a case of makeup, and he goes, how much is that? $25. He goes, well, the beer does the same thing, and it's $15. She goes, no, I screwed up the whole joke. She goes, it makes me look better. He goes, the beer's $15, it does the same thing. Disrespectful. That's awful. But, yeah.
And by the way, if anybody was at the International Mall last night, you would have seen me there for nearly 3 hours yesterday at the International Mall from about 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Photo shoots, International Mall. I don't even know you anymore. Who are you? You're fired. What are you doing in 3 hours? Like if you're not at a bar for 3 hours, if you're just walking around shopping for 3 hours, like
Well,
really?
my softball game got canceled last night.
Right.
Mother Nature.
So you immediately play the International Plaza card?
I did not play any International Plaza card.
Well, what?
I was told that we had to have certain outfits for this photo shoot, so that's where we were. That's why we were at the International Mall, and we were there for a very long time. We were there for a very long time.
So let me get this right. Not only are you doing a photo shoot, the second one in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So your shoot to year ratio of your marriage is way off. But you got to be matching outfits too?
No, it's not matching outfits. They contrast together. Let's put it that way.
So, yeah. Planning the outfits, of course, is for the. If you're going to do a photo shoot, yeah, I guess you should probably do that. Because you'll show up you'll show up looking like that. With a Rays hat and a Rays T-shirt.
This reminds me.
Good call, Casey. But how does it take 3 hours?
I don't know.
How does that take 3 hours?
I don't. We're in so many different stores trying to find a specific thing, and it was not. Couldn't find it. Just could not find it. And I still didn't even get a shirt, by the way. All I ended up getting was a pair of shorts. I still haven't even gotten a shirt.
3 hours? You
Yeah.
found one pair of shorts.
Couldn't find the shirt. They had the shirt
at the
that
mall.
They had the shirt that I
There's
really
700 stores there.
The shirt that I found that I wanted, they didn't have my size, but they have the same store in the Brandon Mall, and they have it in my size there, so I have to go there today to get that shirt. I can see my lifestyle is stressing you out right now.
It really is. It's keeping me from getting remarried. That's what it's doing. Chasing me away.
No, Thomas. Fortunately, Thomas, I did not have to go to Sephora.
See, but Ashley, I'll do. I love Casey to death, and she loves these things, and that's great. It's great. You should do that.
Listen, I'm doing great.
But this is why you guys are such a good match. She would never put up with me.
It's a give and take. I dragged her to a Rays game 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I have to repay that back at some point.
Okay. Well, that's good. I like that. All right. That's fair. That's fair. That's good. That's a good way to do it. And all joking aside, you're a good soldier. You're good. How hard is it? You go stand on the beach, take some pictures. Not that big a deal.
No, I can get. I'm telling you, can get into anything.
Just leave your man card at the door.
You can get into anything if you want to.
Yeah, of course.
You can.
And you should, by the way. Embrace it. Absolutely. I just play an idiot on this show. That's all.
Richie says, I'm starting to feel like if I see Nick out and about, he'll have a scarf on sipping on Karamoka delicious drink. Well, joke's on you, Richie, because this coffee right here is black.
Tell me you're not the Instagram bitch, though.
What?
The guy that is constantly taking pictures of his girlfriend, and she's making him do it like 17,000 times from 14 gazillion different angles. No. Like I saw one of these guys the other day, and I'm just like, and the girl was just like giving it to him, like, no, I want it this way. No, you're doing it all wrong. We take it up high. And she's just yelling at him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry.
Casey has never. She's never.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have those? Yeah, those things between your legs. Oh, she's got them. I should have known. Can I have them? Can you give them back to the dude, please? Like, could you please? I'm embarrassed for him. He clearly cannot function without his gonads. Can you please return his gonads to him? I didn't say that, but I wanted to. That's for sure.
Luckily, I've never been asked to do that.
No.
If she needs
take
photos,
a couple pictures here and there. It's
if
fine.
she needs those photo shoots, she knows. She just asks her friends.
She knows because you're gonna screw it up. That's like I would do.
Yeah,
we do it all wrong.
Yeah, no, that's the
we
funny
do
thing.
it all wrong.
That's the funny thing is I went to journalism school. Okay, right. I have to take you had to take pictures with professional cameras.
That's right.
And do actual shoots.
You know what f-stop is?
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff and white balancing.
Exposure, yeah.
White balancing.
Yeah.
I still got it. I haven't done it since college. I'm not gonna lie. But I could still do it if you gave me that big
I'm a
camera
goddamn
right
professional photographer.
That's what I
telling
tell
me
her.
My business, girl.
I took mobile journalism. Guess what? Shooting everything with your phone.
Yeah.
I know how to do the little dinosaur arm right here. Get that straight camera and pan and everything. And then she's gonna tell me you don't know how to take a picture.
I'm professionally trained. I went to college. I got college debt for this. I know how to do
Literally.
it. Yeah.
Literally.
I'm paying off my school loans to learn how to do this shit. Come on. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about wrestling? By the way, Paul Wilson has moved to 11:30 because he's got to do his audition tape for J.J. Abrams.
You don't
How
want
cool
to
is
talk.
that?
You don't want to talk about wrestling, even though this is by the way actually the biggest wrestling week of the year.
It is
actually in all companies.
We'll talk about
but
it as long as we can play
You just want
my
to play
audio.
your clip. You're just dying to play your little clip that you found.
I do. That's it. That's all I want to do. Yeah, I'm finally interested in wrestling. So come on. But you tell me they don't do this anymore. Now I'm back out. I was in. Now I'm back out. All right, quick break. We'll come back. We're brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. If you're looking to lose weight or get your nutrition where it should be or your immune system, they do it differently. Bay Area Modern Medical Center. They'll spend lots of time with you. We had Chris on the other day, Chris Lugo, their medical director, and talked all about it. Back in 3. All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz, the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man, Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com.
During COVID, over 1.7 million people were added to the Florida Medicaid rolls, but as of April 1st, 2023, most of these people may not be eligible for the Medicaid coverage and will lose their health plan. If you have been notified you are losing your coverage, don't freak out. It's very likely you can apply for a federal subsidy under the Affordable Care Act. Just call 877-652-0244. Our representatives will walk you through the whole process, get some basic information on your income, number of kids, and then they'll find a plan that best fits your needs. In fact, with the new laws, 90% of Americans qualify for reduced or free health care. You can select great plans like Florida Blue, that's my carrier, love them, paying $800 less after making the call. 877-652-0244. Our highly trained professionals know all the intricacies of the new laws. They will do all the work. You save tons of money. So if you're being dropped from Medicaid, fear not. Call 877-652-0244. Get real health insurance, free doctor visits, free blood work, no deductibles. 877-652-0244.
Hey, JP here for Extravaganza Productions Incorporated, EPI. You've probably seen their purple logo at so many events that you've gone to. They are based in Tampa. And for over 33 years, they've been creating and producing conferences, meetings, and special events, the biggest to the smallest. Solid reputation of delivering the best audio-visual, sound, lighting, entertainment, video production, and decor on time and on budget. I've worked with them with so many big events. The Warrior Games, which was an Olympic-style event all over Tampa Bay, from McDill to the Convention Center to USF. They did it flawlessly, made it look big and fantastic. I've worked with them on small events as well, large and small meetings and conferences, sporting events, fundraisers. If you got a fundraiser, you don't know the logistical way to pull it off, they'll take care of everything. Entertainment events, branding events, grand openings, so much more. The folks at Extravaganza Productions are the most professional and the best. I've worked with them many times. They are fantastic. You can contact them through extravaganzaproductions.com or call 813-621-4700. Extravaganza Productions, they are awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Friday. And we're getting into summertime now, and boy, do I miss football. Do I miss football season. What are we, still 3 months away from football season?
When's the countdown to training camp? Because when we get to training camp, then I feel like
Late July.
Then I feel like, okay, I've made it.
Late July, training camp starts. So we're what? Late May, so June. Just like a couple of months.
You know what I'm really dreading? It's the worst week of the sports year by far. Is the All-Star break for baseball.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, no. That's fake. That's vacation week for us.
That was vacation week for us, I believe, last year.
Yeah, I
actually.
We'll, may do it again this year.
The worst.
Yeah. It's there's just nothing going on in sports. Even though there's so much happening now. We've talked about lacrosse. We've talked about Padel, this Pro Padel League that we're doing out in Zephyr Hills, which, by the way, it's free. If you want to come check it out, they're live streaming it also on YouTube. And just look at some of the highlights. Just Google Pro Padel League, PPL, ProPadelLeague.com. It's such a fast and amazing game. It's fun to watch. All these alternative sports, I call them alternative. Lacrosse now has a very successful professional league. I don't know much about that game, but it's interesting. I mean, professional pickleball in general has just absolutely exploded with these other teams. And I'm getting it. I find myself watching more and more women's sports than I ever have before. And I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of play. I mean, the level of athleticism now that women display in basketball, in golf, especially tennis, has always been tremendous to watch. But even some of these pickleball, padel leagues, I think all of it is just kind of exploding, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, softball.
I watched the FSU game last night. I watched almost the whole game. Mm-hmm. And once again, Kat Sandercock was fantastic for FSU.
Shocker.
Why do you get a laugh every time I say her name?
I didn't even. I
you
did not laugh.
You chuckled. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And they were down 1-0 to Georgia, and they came back and spanked them 8-1. Couple of 4-run rallies. But that's a fast game.
Yep.
and it's and the infielders are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
How they pick it up so quick, the ball is fast, and they got to the bases are so short. You got to get it over there. It's a fun watch.
In some ways, it's almost better to watch than college baseball.
Oh yeah,
Like college baseball.
Now watching college baseball, it's just
college baseball
slow.
Needs the environment.
Yeah,
It really needs the environment, and we're gonna get that in the NCAA tournament. It always shows up, and it's fantastic. Of note, yesterday your USF Bulls are still.
How about that?
Are still going. They
spanked your UCF team, bro.
They rolled my UCF Knights.
My buddy Clayton from American Mortgage Services, the biggest USF fan ever. He sends me the meme. Was it 15-4?
Yeah.
He's at like 4 times, like 4 separate times he sent the whole. I'm like, dude, calm down. It was like a quarterfinal game in your tournament.
Well,
I know.
They clinched
we
the
beat
semis.
UCF.
Now UCF has to play East Carolina now
Right.
to have a chance to get into the semifinal.
All right. So
So-
they're losing.
Bye-bye.
And USF is playing one of the other bottom feeders.
USF now is waiting for these next 2 games. The other one is Memphis and Houston, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever wins that, then those 2 teams will move on to join USF and I think it's Tulane, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think it's Tulane who are waiting, and then there you go. So hopefully we get a little magic.
What if USF ran the table, got
That
into
would
the
be that would be
NCAA
crazy.
tournament, got the auto bid? That'd be nuts.
That would be nuts. Just
Some-
like they did 2 years ago or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
something good's got to happen though. And we talked about this the other day. That ratification of the financing plan for the stadium is a game changer. That is a game changer for USF. That signals or maybe the demarcation or where they finally got serious about athletics. And if you want to be in the game, you better, you can't be dipping your toe in the water. They got to go all in, and this is the first sign of it. So that's good.
Okay.
Richie P says, let's talk wrestling. And he also says, dude, I still can't believe you had Daddy Yankee out there. I was hanging out. I was working with Daddy Yankee. I got a picture on his Instagram, like his 49 million followers. I picked up like 5 followers from that whole ordeal.
Oh, my gosh. Look
It's
at
amazing.
You. You're influencing Richie
I'm an
now.
influencer now,
Look
yeah.
at, no, I meant you're an influencer, but you're influencing Richie in a negative way now.
Here we go. You guys can go read the comments.
I feel
on
like I'm
YouTube.
being suckered into
I
having.
hear Sandercock is a stiff. Stop it.
I feel like I'm being suckered into having to play this clip that you sent me on Instagram.
Well,
last night.
somebody like sent me a reel, and then you know how the reel play when that one finishes, the next one plays behind it.
Yeah.
So it was this clip, and I was like, well, now if there was more of this going on, I'd be more interested in wrestling. But you tell me they don't do this anymore.
No, if you want to see this,
There's no good double entendres
Do you have-
anymore like there used to be.
Do you have? This conversation sucks because now I have to tell you where you can watch this.
Where can I? This is old school wrestling.
Do you have Peacock?
Yes, I do have Peacock.
Well, you can find it on Peacock.
What is it? It's like old
You could-
school.
They have the WWE Network on there, and you can watch every Monday Night Raw, every show, every anything you want to watch.
So
is
what
on
was
there.
this? What were the salad days of wrestling in your opinion?
97 to 2002.
That was the sweet spot.
That was a sweet spot. Now my generation was more 05 to like 10.
Why was 97 to 02 so good?
Briefly, it was the Attitude Era, is what it was called. It became
The Attitude Era.
It was edgy. That's when it used to be marketed towards kids, and all the gimmicks were over the top and everything, like you grew up on.
Right.
And it became, in the late 90s, things changed.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
everything was very,
Professional. It started to become a real business.
yeah. And they
Weren't doing it out
they
of
had
the,
to modernize with the times.
the Homer Hesterly armory.
They had to modernize the times, and so they made it TV 14, and it was very like over the top, like edgy, sexual. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of sexuality.
Very
We
over the top.
used to be able to do that. Now only Telemundo can do that.
Everything they did on those shows from that time period would never fly today. Like Jenna Jameson was on Raw.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Had porn stars out there?
They had a porn star character, Val Venus.
Really?
Yeah. And he used to do
So
a
it's weird
he used
that
to do a,
you can't get away with that today.
he
Like,
used
why?
to do he used to do a promo in the ring before all of his matches, and he would be like, "Hello, ladies." Like he'd have like the very baritone voice.
What's up?
And the ladies in the crowd would go crazy, and obviously, and then he would basically do some kind of like, I've got more meat than your buns can handle. Like he would go full overboard with
It's all
it.
sausage party stuff.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is one of the funniest movies ever made. By the way.
But
if you've not
anyway,
seen
you
it.
sent me this this clip.
Yeah. And I said, now this is funny.
And this is from I can tell the time period. This was a Monday Night Raw in 2002.
Okay.
Okay, we got Triple H, Chris Jericho, and Stephanie McMahon.
See, this is
the boss's daughter standing in
the boss's daughter talking like this.
And by the way, they are married now. By the way, the man saying this to the woman, they are married now, and
so it worked out well. So listen to this nice, cuddly pillow talk between these two. It's so sweet. I love it.
Hold on, I got to put the sound on.
To the bedroom. The
to the
game
bedroom.
always came up a little bit short.
Oh my God! Maybe it was not so much that it was the game that was short. Maybe it was that the field I was playing on was just too damn big.
Oh no! You can't.
Let me make it a little more clear for you. Even a 747 looks small when you're flying it into the Grand Canyon.
What in the world?
This is talking about the boss's daughter. and somebody wrote this script.
And the great wide open over here. What do you say?
Great wide open!
What? Look at her face. Oh my God. See, now that's how wrestling got so big.
Yeah.
And now it's like
this is the time period where like I've started to learn how ratings work. They were getting like nightly basis, like a 10 rating.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like 10 million people were watching wrestling back in the day, like every
That's
Monday.
like NFL numbers.
It was crazy. Now it's like 2 million.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not I don't
It doesn't hit it does not hit the same for most people.
because they've tamped it all down. It's not as edgy as it
They
used
went
to
public.
be.
They went public,
right.
and that's where it changed.
Yeah. That appeal to all the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also of note, I told you it was a big weekend in wrestling, by the way. Tomorrow, there's a Night of Champions premium live event. It's in Saudi Arabia. They do it like 2 or 3 times a year in Saudi Arabia. It's a huge event. So that's tomorrow.
They take that Saudi money, do they? That dirty
yeah.
Saudi money?
Mm-hmm.
The wrestlers do? Oh, my God.
So
Turn it off.
It's big event in Saudi Arabia. And then the next day, AEW has their Double or Nothing pay-per-view in the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And then NXT, which is WWE's developmental, they have their Battleground premium live event running opposite of AEW as well. So you got 3 pay-per-views this weekend in wrestling. So it's a big weekend for me.
3 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
People, what are we shelling out for one of these things? $49.95?
Well, if you get a Peacock subscription, and mine's $5 a month,
Right.
you get every premium live event.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's a great deal.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
It's the same thing for NXT because it's on there. So
Okay.
I'm only paying $5 a month to watch these things.
Yeah. I probably will miss it, so you can fill me in on Monday or Tuesday because Monday we'll be off for Memorial Day, by the way. So you'll fill me in?
Yeah, I'll fill you in.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
So there's your wrestling talk for
There's my wrestling update. And Ric Flair, you still suck for wearing that Stars jersey last night. You started this whole thing
The
today.
Nature Boy can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, for $100,000, he'll do anything. That's probably what Dallas paid him last night to do that. God, what a great gig. What a great gig. He's living. He probably told him, first of all, you're going to live, what is he, like 78 now?
He's like 73, I think.
Which, yeah, he probably never thought he would live this long.
And he's living the gimmick.
Yeah, he's living.
He has never been Richard Fleer. He's always been Ric Flair.
Yeah, and he's living the dream. He's getting paid like buckets of money just for doing stuff like that.
You should get on.
They got Mike Tyson on there last night. The Stars that they brought it all about.
Well, they're in cahoots. They got the Ric Flair drip and they got the Tyson 2.0.
No wonder they won last night finally. So they got to pay him every game for here on out? Yeah, they're not. Vegas is going to come back and win that. But the Celtics, on the other hand. Let's take a break and come back and talk a little bit of NBA because there's drama all over the NBA. I wish we could play some of the Kwame Brown versus Shannon Sharp stuff. If you haven't seen that, you were showing me some of that. That's ugly. And we can't even play that. And we're edgy. We're really edgy. All right, our thanks to the Golden Diamond Source. Great folks over there. You have Father's Day coming up, by the way. Father's Day is coming up. We like shiny things from the Golden Diamond Source. I'd like a new watch from the Golden Diamond Source. So if somebody would be kind enough to go over there and see Julie and Steve and say, hey, JP wants a new watch, that'd be great. No, seriously, go get your dad something. If you got graduations or all over the place, great place to go. The Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Back in 3 with some NBA talk. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. Have you been injured in an accident, in an auto accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, at work, or at a place of business? Well, call the Jeeves Law Group and get the personal attention that you deserve. I made the mistake many, many years ago with going with one of the bigger law firms, the national law firms. And let me tell you, getting a call back from those folks was next to impossible. Weeks and weeks would go by. Never get a call back. That doesn't happen with the Jeeves Law Group. Personal attention is what they're all about. When you call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to jeeveslawgroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to jeeveslawgroup.com. Ladies and gentlemen, are you looking to lose weight or just lean up for bathing suit season where there are so many diets and chiropractors and weight loss clinics out there? You don't know where to start, right? We'll start at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo, PA, and his professional staff will devise a personal plan for you that gets results and will help you keep the weight off. Everybody metabolizes food and supplements differently. Many of these other approaches are designed for the masses. So how's that going to work for you specifically? It's not. Chris will spend one-on-one time with you to find out what works best for you so the weight comes off safely without the use of harmful drugs and side effects. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Hey, JP here for Extravaganza Productions Incorporated, EPI. You've probably seen their purple logo at so many events that you've gone to. They are based in Tampa, and for over 33 years, they've been creating and producing conferences, meetings, and special events, the biggest to the smallest. Solid reputation of delivering the best audio-visual, sound, lighting, entertainment, video production, and decor on time and on budget. I've worked with them with so many big events. The Warrior Games, which was an Olympic-style event all over Tampa Bay, from McDill to the Convention Center to USF. They did it flawlessly, made it look big and fantastic. I've worked with them on small events as well, large and small meetings and conferences, sporting events, fundraisers. If you got a fundraiser, you don't know the logistical way to pull it off, they'll take care of everything. Entertainment events, branding events, grand openings, so much more. The folks at Extravaganza Productions are the most professional and the best. I've worked with them many times. They are fantastic. You can contact them through extravaganzaproductions.com or call 813-621-4700. Extravaganza Productions, they are awesome.
Pure Sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back. And a big thanks to our newest sponsor, EPI Productions, Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. Great folks over there. If you have any event, large or small, and you need a setup, an audio-visual setup, You need maybe something built special for that occasion. They build anything in terms of props. They have a humongous warehouse full of crazy props, man. It's actually really fun to go in there. I'm going to go in there and do another Instagram and show you a bunch of the stuff that they have in there. But you could go in there and pick out stuff for your party, whatever you want, whatever themes you got. Trust me, they got crazy stuff, and they will make it pop. So if you got a charity event, a graduation event, something like that, and you just want to make it like super professional and really well done, and competitive prices too, folks. For all the money you're going to spend renting the equipment, doing all that stuff, let the pros do it themselves and take all the headache out of the way. And that's Extravaganza Productions. That's what they do. Paul Thomason and that whole group over there are fantastic. I've worked with them with the Warrior games and small projects as well. You know, Tampa Sports Club gigs, and it's always super well done. You never have to worry about anything. Just grab the microphone and go. They are the best. Extravaganza Productions. So go. You can Google them, Extravaganza Productions Incorporated, or extravaganzaproductions.com. Where you can find them. Tell them JP sent you, by the way. They'll give you a free consult and just say, hey, I'm having an event. This is what I want to do. Can you give me some ideas what we could do and what the cost might be? It's free, so give them a call. Find out. All right, there's a party going on in Boston because the Celtics are back. The Heat had them down 3-0, 149-0 in history of the NBA. Game teams down 3-0. 3-0 have never come back. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. But here we go. The Celtics have come back and won again. They won Game 5 last night, 112-97. And now it's a 3-2 series, Game 6 in Miami tomorrow, I believe. And then if there's a Game 7, Miami's going to have a hard time winning that in Boston. We were dunking on the Celtics the other day. And I'm still not sure they can get it done. But they've stepped up in 2 games in a row. So I'll hand them that. And Tatum was great last night. Jaylen Brown was great last night. They finally played defense. They finally played defense, and they hit their three-pointers. When they shoot 40% from 3, they don't lose. And that pretty much goes for every team. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the difference in the last couple of games is they're making their open three-pointers. They were hitting them at a 29% level. Now they're up at 40% again. And in these 2 games, and that's the winning edge for them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And play defense.
Yeah, it's crazy how things change. I mean, the narratives, and I watched, that day that I was off on Monday, I watched a lot of the national shows because I was a little bored. And it's like everybody's talking about Joe Mazzulla, and you got to break up the tandem between Tatum and Brown. And I said the same things. Yeah. I thought this team was dead in the water, and they've gone as far, even though they made the finals last year, I thought that, you know, this was probably it for this core, right? But these 2 games have been just so different from what we've seen. They continue to be very, very Jekyll and Hyde, the Celtics. And Miami, I tell you what the difference is, and this is going to turn into this meme if the Heat blow this series. There's this photo right here of Jimmy Butler.
Oh, the timeout one, yeah.
The timeout one, the mock.
The timeout meme.
Since then, Jimmy Butler is a negative 44 on the court.
Wow.
He's shooting 17% from 3, and the kicker 20% from the field in the 4th. So all of a sudden, Jimmy Butler's game has disappeared, and the Heat, we already know, although they have really good role players and a lot of sharpshooters on that team, and they play a very grit kind of style, they seem to be running out of it a little bit at the moment. And I'm getting a little worried for Miami. I am a little worried. The series has shifted so much over the last 2 games. To be blown out like that in 2 potential closeouts. I mean, yesterday wasn't even close. Was not even close for Miami. I have concerns for them if they're going to be able to pull this out now. I'm like, is Boston really going to pull this off? Because if they get it back to Game 7 in Boston, that's
going to be a tough ask.
Yeah.
But would you rather see Miami-Denver or Boston-Denver?
I wanted to see Miami-Denver. I mean, you know my feelings about Boston. I didn't want to see Boston there at all.
Right.
I wanted to see Miami and Denver. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if we're going to get that at the moment. I really don't.
I just because of the talent levels, because I think Boston's a better team than Miami from a talent standpoint. When Tatum and Brown, when they want to play and they give the effort that they gave last night, especially on the defensive end, and I can't believe I have to say that. You know, you're in a freaking conference final, and these guys are quitting out there. I mean, it's embarrassing, you know. And I think, you know, they finally maybe they just heard so much crap that they finally got their backbone up and said, you know what, we're going to go out there and play hard. And that, to me, that's been the difference. Their will, they've picked up their will level, their desperation level, to finally equal Miami's. And when they do that, they're just a much more talented team than they are.
Yeah, and they found some kind of bench scoring, some depth scoring, if you will. What was it, Derek White last night? How many points did he have? I know he had 19 in the fourth. He finished with 24 points. 24 points out of Derek White, and leading all Celtic scorers, by the way. And Marcus Smart, second Celtic scorer, 23 points. So you're getting almost 50 points right there from those two guys. It's no secret why Boston was able to pull that out. And that's the only thing. It's like in the last two games, they've gotten those contributions from, Grant Williams and Horford was the guys who did it the game before. And now you get Smart and Derek White. Can that hold up for Boston is kind of the big question. Can they replicate that 2 more times and have those guys shooting they had shot 41% from 3 yesterday, which is an elite average. That's the only thing that you have to think with Boston is can they keep that up for 2 more games to get them out of here. And again, Miami too, Gabe Vincent, there was a stat I think that the Heat were 18-5 when Gabe Vincent starts for them, and he didn't play he did not play yesterday after he had that little ankle injury there in the fourth quarter of the game prior.
Right.
So maybe there's something to that. We already know they're playing without Tyler Hero. We forget Tyler Hero is their second leading scorer behind Jimmy Butler. So, and it doesn't sound like he's anywhere near being able to play. So they're going to have to do it without him. So the series just flipped so much. It's like I'm almost thinking Boston's going to pull this off.
It'll be interesting to watch this weekend, no question about it. There's some drama there. Meanwhile, the Nuggets are just sitting there in wait.
Can we agree we think the Nuggets are probably the team, though?
I think
that's going to win, regardless of who gets in there?
I just don't see how you beat Joker. He dominates the game in every way. And, we talked about this the other day. He just provides whatever his team needs. And his supporting cast is no joke. Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, those are really
Jamal
good
Murray
players.
is damn good, man.
Really good player.
We don't talk about him a lot. He goes kind of under the radar. But
when he needs to get his shot, he just backs you down, finds a way. He's got you'll never remember this guy, but a Mark Aguirre. One of these guys.
Mark Aguirre,
yeah. Just, physically, he doesn't look like a whole lot, but he just was so crafty, could get his shot any way he wants. And every game, he's scoring 27 points.
Yeah.
Every freaking game. He's just like, and you look up, he scored 27. A bunch of, like fadeaways, finger rolls, mid-range jumpers, and by the end of the game, you're like, Jesus, he had 27 and 12, and they're just good, and they're really well coached, and they play hard. They seem to have great chemistry, and I don't see that. I think the Celtics are extremely talented, but they don't play hard, and their coaching is, average at best, if not less than average.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, the Nuggets have everything they need. Interesting story yesterday in the Times. I don't know if you saw this, but about Tampa Bay Stadium conundrum, who's playing where. The Rays, the Rowdies, and new women's soccer team seek permanent homes. Daryl Shaw announced that the new United Soccer League, USL Super League, is a women's soccer franchise. Said he'd like to see the team play in Ybor City. He's already planning Ybor Harbor, a massive redevelopment project, and that's where my heart is. Ybor Harbor. We were talking about this the other day. You see this? You see this? Right there?
Yeah.
See that beautiful building right there? That space-aged, beautiful stadium right there that they're going to put right down next to the crosstown and across from the aquarium, called Ybor Harbor, where the Rays are going to play for the next 45 years. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right there. Very interesting. And the fact that Daryl Shaw is now in the professional sports business with this women's soccer league, which I don't know anything about, quite frankly, but, this is not, they already have a women's soccer league, and it's not this one, a women's professional soccer league. Or all the Olympic
it's like the NWSL.
Players. Yeah. So I don't know what this one is, but whatever it takes, I just want to see the Rays play in there. If we need the women's soccer team, the USL, good. We'll take that too. But the Rowdies could play there as well.
Yeah.
And we talked about that whole concept that they did in Atlanta. And part of a big part of building the new Mercedes-Benz dome for for the Falcons, and also their new MLS team was Arthur Blank was like, I'm going to build this, and I'm like, wow, that's $1.5 billion that he spent on that Mercedes-Benz Dome for essentially 10 Falcons games and a few college football games. Well, then they added in 23 MLS games with the MLS franchise, and they packed the place more than with the Falcons. So yeah, this is the numbers start to change when you can have another professional sports team in your baseball stadium and play 21 to 25 games there. Not to mention, if you're configuring that to be able to play soccer, you can play football in there as well. And you can have bowl games in there. You can have concerts in there. You can have other soccer games in there. There's a lot of things that you could do in there. So bring it on. Can you imagine what that would bring to and we were kind of jokingly saying, well, why can't the Bucks play in there as well? Let's figure out a way to make that into a new football stadium as well.
We don't need a new football stadium.
We don't. I was in that stadium the other night for the concert, the Ed Sheeran concert, and it's like the clubs are fabulous. Like the club areas, the luxury suites. I mean, what is so bad about that? I mean, it's now they have the state of the art video boards and sound
because it's not some plastic atmosphere like cesspool indoor stadium.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's not. All these indoor stadiums, we've had this discussion, have no character and no atmosphere at all.
Zero.
And that's why everybody wants to change it.
All right. Our resident actor is ready to take the stage. All things media, our entertainment correspondent, Mr. Paul Wilson, joining us here straight from his did you do an audition for J.J. Abrams today?
Yes.
Wow. Richard Nixon.
That's right. And it's kind of funny because this could be the tricky dick hat trick if it happens.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. What the heck?
Is that all you can tell us? I know this is all very, very secret.
That's all I can tell you. I'm sworn to secrecy. My NDA is over there. It's about a ream of paper. So let's just leave that over there.
Right. Interesting. How are you, partner? It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys. How's it been going? I mean, what are we doing? Here's the official, unofficial, maybe the official beginning of the summer blockbuster season, if not summer.
Yes. And we got some big, what's coming out this week? The Mermaid. What's her face?
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid's coming out.
The live action remake of that classic tale. And we got to talk about this. Before we get to that, we got to talk about this guy. Bert Kreischer. You know who that is?
Yeah, the FSU guy, the comedian. Always taking his shirt off, the fat guy.
His movie, he's from St. Pete. His movie opens this weekend. Mark Hamill plays his dad. Now, Nick, you know who Mark Hamill's most famous for playing?
Something in the Star Wars.
Even I know this one.
Something in the Star Wars. That's 5 points. Okay, good. Not quite 10, but
Luke
that's
Skywalker.
Luke
Skywalker.
You don't know what Luke's.
Here we go again. Do I need to ship the DVDs over there to you again?
No,
trust me, Paul. I will not unseal them. I promise you.
Okay, yeah, I know. We have this conversation a lot. No, this movie is insane. The Machine, and it's based on a story that he says happened when he left FSU one semester with his Russian class and went to Russia. And they had to get some protection on the train because they were going from St. Petersburg, Russia to Moscow.
Right.
And the protection was the mob. And apparently when he shows up to meet them, he's all excited and he forgets his Russian because he's been taking it for a while. And the only thing he says in Russian is, "I'm the Machine." And then they bust out laughing, become his buddies, then get drunk and decide to rob the train, including his classmates. Crazy story. So
I gotta go see it. I love his comedy. His comedy's fantastic, and he's a big FSU fan, and he's a big he's a Bucks fan too, right? Big Bucks fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Remember those?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of them from last year. Who's on that cup? Who is that? Is that
this?
Mike Martin?
This is Richie Lewis.
Oh, Richie Lewis.
This is classic, dude. This is from our days running around the stadium.
That's 1989 Omaha. I went out there with those guys.
That's right.
Covered that team in 1989. I went to Omaha for 2 weeks. I was out there doing satellite stuff back to Tallahassee. That was I literally had to go buy more underwear. It's crazy.
Yep. Those are the days. Walking around after the game, picking up stacks of these cups to take home. I think I have 3 in the kitchen here in the office.
Those are classics. So, all right. So we got the blockbusters coming out. We got Little Mermaid. I mean, we'll go see that with the kids. The kids will love that. It looks kind of cool, though. It looks really well done.
Getting a lot, got a little criticized for kind of playing with some different types of characters that people aren't used to. I think it's going to make her, the Little Mermaid herself, it's going to make her a superstar.
What's her name?
I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
You would ask me that. But it looks great. And you've got Melissa McCarthy playing Ursula.
That's
really,
perfect.
really fun. Great actors and great
perfect.
comedians. Big lavish. They're expecting about 120 million this opening weekend. There's that. Sebastian Maniscalco, the it comedian right now.
Love him.
Has got a movie based on his true story about his relationship with his dad. And his dad is played by Robert De Niro.
He talked about this when he played Tampa last year. I went to it. He talked about this movie. He was shooting the movie at the time, and he did a whole bit on his dad. And oh my God, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
the whole bit is funny. So if the movie is based on that, I'm in. I'm all in on that deal.
It's got some fun beats. I haven't seen it, but some of the reviews have been pretty mild and say that it's just fun to see De Niro, kind of in his bumbling mode, playing his dad.
How can he not be good in that? That's like, it's gotta be funny.
And those two guys, were last in Irishman. I mean, that's the thing about these comedians, is that I think like Scorsese is unbelievable at bringing these comedians in to play bad guys or to play, real heavy roles in his movies. So the two of them are paired again as they were in The Irishman.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely watch that. Well, what else is on the docket for this summer?
Well, we've got the big Indiana Jones final adventure of Harrison Ford at 80 years old. That's kind of, it debuted at Cannes like it did about 15 years ago with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten some interesting, fun, and nostalgic, nostalgia always plays, but it's got some good reviews. And of course they de-age Harrison Ford. So that's all over the internet. So that's not a, spoiler alert. They take him, I think the movie begins in 1944. So and of course, Indiana Jones' favorite set of bad guys, the Nazis, he's after them.
Of course.
And they're looking for something that Archimedes may have made that can create time travel. So, yeah. So we'll see some familiar faces. John Rhys Davies is back as Sala. And of course, he goes all over the world. That's coming out end of June. So that should really set fire. I think Disney's done pretty good at keeping Little Mermaid away from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Have you got a chance to see Guardians yet? Guardians 3?
Yes, loved it.
Was that not the best of the 3, you think?
It might have been. I think so. I loved all the humor, and they don't really miss, knock on wood, when they really put these fun actors together in these seemingly very dangerous situations, and they have this great little moment of kind of this release the safety valve of humor. But that team is so wonderfully close knit as they work together. Those actors, I thought it was just fantastic and really fun.
Who do you think is the best comedic actor out there right now? Because I mean, and if I say Chris Pratt, people are like, he's comedic, is he? And maybe you can't put these guys in genres, but I think that dude is so freaking funny. Anything he's ever done, he just hits the right tone. And comedy is so hard. It's just so hard to be really, really good at it. Who would you put out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely at the top. I like, I like Melissa McCarthy. I think she's a genius. Yes. And I think some of these women are just absolutely hysterical. But you've got and Sebastian does a good job. I think he really, he kind of plays himself. Yeah, I mean, if you hadn't said Chris Pratt, I probably wouldn't have walked into it that fast. But I think that's going to be a hard one to beat. And there's a guy that, kind of came out of nowhere, was this kind of doughy sitcom star. And, he was rumored to kind of take over the helm of Indiana Jones at one point. And of course, he lost a lot of weight. And then Jurassic Park and in those subsequent sequels, he's a great little action star as well.
Yeah. You know who else I like, and this is going back to Deadpool, but Ryan Reynolds. I think he's freaking.
He's
hilarious.
probably the best R-rated version of the comedic actor.
Yeah,
yeah. That movie just started filming. I don't know if they're going to finish this summer with the writer's strike, which is kind of, the earthquake in Hollywood right now. So
why are they doing that right now when there's AI? Because we were going to talk about this. So how is, there's a writer's strike, and now AI is writing everything from your dating profile to your philosophy paper to everything else. And now they're going to write movies and use AI to write movies and sitcoms and everything.
I've actually used just for fun. I've used a little AI tool to write a plot, and it spits it out. It's kind of
it's generic. But, it's generic.
Yeah, and I got news for you. AI's been around a long time. Anyone that has a streaming service is being, subjugated to AI. Because why do you think they're programming through their algorithm? Oh, maybe you should watch this. Since you watch that, you might like this. That's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
And I think Hollywood's fascination with it goes way back to Metropolis. What's that, from the 30s or 40s?
Yeah. What was the movie where the computer took over and started the nuclear war? What was that great sci-fi movie? You remember that? It was you might not remember.
Well, Terminator.
No, it wasn't Terminator. It was another one where the computer takes over NORAD, and it's artificial intelligence, and it starts thinking on its own, and it almost begins a nuclear war. It does a simulated nuclear war. What is the name of that?
I got to look that up.
No, it's like early 90s, maybe late 80s. Come on, somebody in the comments, you guys will get this.
Someone jump in and help us.
But that's that's the ultimate fear where AI is going, right? That it can do stupid stuff like that. But how does it work? Because I've tried it for writing, certain just to kind of get my creative juices going. Give me a little, and it can kind of get you going. But what it produces, like I asked it to do a spot on something I was working on, and it didn't understand the prompt right, and thought I was talking about something completely different. So you got to work with it in that way. But what it spit out was just very cliche to me.
Right.
It wasn't creative or second level, third level thinking, which is what makes good writing good writing. What makes good film good film. The basic stuff doesn't play. It's got to be second, third level type thinking, right?
Yeah, and I think you're going to see. Cannes just wrapped last week or so, and there was a lot of discussion of AI at Cannes. And I think what we're going to see is, and Hollywood loves derivatives, right? Or reboots, right? So I think that's kind of where they want to be careful with it. And although the writer's strike, and that's basically over revenue sharing with streamers right now, by the way, that's the big war. And then at the end of June, the DGA, the Directors Guild, may go on strike, and then it's game on. They're planning for 100 or so days of picketing. And, movies that were in production before the strike, which was a couple weeks ago when it started, will probably keep going unless SAG, Screen Actors Guild, strikes. Then they're all walking off. And you've had several years of actors becoming writers, multiple guild associations. So this could turn into a war. I think the best part about AI, aside from the de-aging that they did, of course, in several other movies. Michael Douglas did it in the first Ant-Man, right?
Yeah, right.
I think you're going to see AI being utilized by most of Hollywood and the entertainment world to kind of take a script that's written by a scribe, not a machine, and then they run it through some parameters in terms of budgeting, in terms of how much is it going to cost to take this out to 4,000 theaters. Right. Will this movie make money back? And at what point can the investors expect to start making their money back? That's, I think, where they really want to go with it. How can
it do that? It's so subjective on how a film is received. How does AI predict if one of the actors, while in the middle of the release, does something really, really bad? AI can't predict that stuff.
No. That's
as you can tell. I'm very anti-AI, by the way. If you can't,
I think any creative person is.
Right, of course.
I think even, like I said, even in the business spheres of the entertainment, of the accountants and the so-called marketing people that don't seem to know what they're doing really, they're going to lean on it and take things like, well, if this is the aggregate demographic that we're aiming for, or this is the kind of majority of the gender we think, like a rom-com maybe aimed at more women 35, 64, then they can start kind of getting really close. It's kind of based on some marketing metrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I mean, one actor gets a DUI, gets pulled over and starts, acting like a jerk. I mean, we've seen how that affects blockbusters. Right. Yeah. And that affects movies. I mean, that sucks the air out of the room real quick.
Yeah. By the way, War Games with Matthew Broderick was that.
That's the one. Yes,
that's the one. Good film. Check that out. And we were talking about this in terms of baseball. Artificial intelligence equals analytics, right? And where is the sweet spot between using your human intuition and then managing with analytics as well? And I think this argument can go out into every realm of our world these days. And it's interesting that, it's always how sports seems to be a precursor in a lot of these, arguments, debates that eventually comes to the real world, so to speak, the Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, et cetera, et cetera. So I just think it's interesting that we're now having the same conversation in every other realm of the world. And I think, the old school people in baseball are like, give me some of the information, but then I'm making the decision. Whereas I think the corporate world, and I think, studio executives, I think would fall into this. It's like, I don't want to rely on a human being that's so infallible, may not even show up for work, when I can use a computer that I know is going to be there. And I just hate that reliance on that and just dismissing human beings because I know the computer is going to be there and it's going to give me something solid, but it's never going to give you something, it's never going to write Casablanca. It's never going to do that. It's never going to create these incredible films that J.J. Abrams collect and these others.
Well, can you imagine what Casey Stengel would say right now about Moneyball? I mean, you take people like that out of their experience, and there's arguably probably one of the best baseball managers of all time.
Yeah.
But he's the one who built that team.
Right.
He's the one who chose that lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I think it's a great debate. We'll see where it goes in entertainment. All right. Anything else going on with you? Anything else you want to promote? Anything else happening? What you always do?
My son is graduating high school tonight.
Well,
so that's a big deal. Yeah. That's a big deal. That's about it. I'm just kind of ready for beach season and bikini season. Not for me, of course.
What about golf season?
Yeah, we got to do that before it turns into Vietnam season, right?
Yes, we do.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, I think it's already here. How about are you going to make the Michael Block movie? You gonna write that script? It wrote itself last week at the PGA. Come on, you got somebody's going to.
What a story! Unbelievable. Well, I saw some interview where he's like, "I don't even hit balls all day. I don't even hit a bucket of balls once a week."
Right.
I just love that.
Yeah.
There's hope for us.
Yes.
There's hope for us.
Yeah, we should make that movie now. All right, partner. Good to see you. Good luck with the new movie, and that would be awesome.
Thanks. You guys have a great weekend and happy Memorial Day.
Leave us with a tricky dick line.
To all those veterans out there, we love you and we're proud.
There you go.
How about that? A good little tricky dick line.
That was and apropos as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. The great Paul Wilson there, Wilson Media, all things entertainment and media. The streaming. We've been talking about this for a week now. The damn streaming services. You know what I did yesterday? I got rid of Bally's because Spectrum offered me their digital streaming service that includes Bally's for $60.
So you're back on the Spectrum game.
I'm back on Spectrum because the Bally's app I could not. It's so clunky. They don't even post the post game show. They give you like a minute 45 of the post game show, like the first minute 45, and they call that the post game wrap up. It's so bad. And then if the reverse and fast forward and rewind is awful. So I'm back. Yeah, I'm back on.
Well, you
Spectrum
won't have these
streaming.
problems with beautiful Spectrum. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but Spectrum doesn't have a rewind or fast forward. The streaming service, like
if it's a streaming service,
like YouTube, you can go back and forth. Like if you're watching a show, and if I'm like, I'll have SportsCenter on in the background, and they do something on the Bucks or something, and I'm doing something else at the time in the bathroom. I always come back and rewind.
Yeah, you have to have
watch it. You
have to have the Spectrum box,
the box,
and like traditional cable where you're watching it in real time and not
Right.
on a stream, and then you have like the old school remote, right? I think
Yeah.
you used to have that.
Yeah.
The old school remote where you have all the functions.
So they have any type of recording with the stream. I hope.
I think you can record.
Yeah.
But you can't do fast forward and all that stuff.
Unless you record it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll figure that out. But I'm back on Spectrum, and it's just now I can go from the Rays game to the basketball game to the hockey game without having to get out of the Bally's app, go to the YouTube app, which always it's circling. It's awful. And now you got to get Peacock to get this NFL game and this, that, and the other. Somebody's got to streamline this shit. Somebody's got to do something quickly.
Hey, before I forget, by the way, because you brought up baseball just a little bit, I meant to say this today. Screw the freaking New York Yankees.
Yeah,
they are worth nothing.
They're just not a great baseball team.
Well, they're a good baseball team. I'm not going to take that away from them. But why can't you help out the Rays?
Beat the Orioles.
Why can't you do your job?
Do your job.
The Rays take 3 out of 4 from Toronto. They took 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee, and they gained 0 ground.
And do we have to do Aaron Boone is such a bitch rant again today? Like every day.
I was going to say, do we have to do Mr. Petulant Baby here gets tossed again for like the 4,080th time of the season already.
And then spit on the umpire, by the way. Well, did the spittle in his face. And the umpire called him out on it too. He's going to get suspended for that.
He's not even arguing. Like, this guy played baseball, right? At a high level.
You can't argue balls and strikes.
I'd like to but I like to think this guy has some sense of the strike zone. He's just arguing like for arguing's sake now.
Yeah, I saw the pitches. They were right on the borderline.
They're your typical everyday borderline calls.
Yeah, they weren't like 4, 5, 6 inches outside the zone. They were right on the line, and he didn't call it a strike. Okay, that's going to happen. Yeah, and then he's got to run out there and get, look, you can't. And the umpire gave him a couple opportunities to stop bitching. He was bitching about balls and strikes in the dugout. Typically, they'll let you go 3, 4 times, but of course, he couldn't do that. He had to keep going until he got tossed. I think he's trying to get fired. I think he's done with it, and he's just trying to get fired, collect his money, and
Lord,
go.
I hope that Cashman never fires that man.
Like, how does Hal not just sack them both?
I was about to say, does Hal have any sort of like gonads? I guess
I don't.
Which we've talked a lot about today. Does he have any gonads on him to make a big move?
I don't think so, but otherwise he would have done it by now. How can you continue to play to give Cashman shot after shot after shot? Like, he's not doing anything.
They've done besides bring back Aaron Judge. That's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, they did nothing to improve this team.
No,
necessarily. They
it
got
just
some
looks
young
like he's
guys
always
in.
throwing crap at the wall, and he's not building a team ever. With that huge budget, and he still can't do it.
Yeah, and I'm sure. By the way, I'm sure they're going to win 95 games. I'm sure.
How could you not win 95 games when you've got a budget like that?
Yeah, they're not.
Anybody can do that.
I'm not saying they're a bad team. I think they're a good team. But the standards in New York are more than just a good team, and I just don't trust them to go deep in the playoffs.
No way. All right, well, do we need to take another break?
Yeah, we got one more break.
One more break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up. We might get to an epic Bill Romanowski take. I don't know if we got it or not, but we might. Quick break. Back at 3. Stay with us. Guys, are you experiencing those feelings of getting older, lower sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, or you just don't feel like you had the vitality you once had? It's a chronic problem here in the United States. You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well, so do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Look, testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability, not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Folks, I've been on testosterone therapy for over 6 years, and it is a life changer. You will feel and look better than you did 10 years ago. Give them a call at 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. Hey, JP here for Extravaganza Productions Incorporated, EPI. You've probably seen their purple logo at so many events that you've gone to. They are based in Tampa, and for over 33 years, they've been creating and producing conferences, meetings, and special events, the biggest to the smallest. Solid reputation of delivering the best audio-visual, sound, lighting, entertainment, video production, and decor on time and on budget. I've worked with them with so many big events. The Warrior Games, which was an Olympic-style event all over Tampa Bay, from McDill to the Convention Center to USF. They did it flawlessly, made it look big and fantastic. I've worked with them on small events as well, large and small meetings and conferences, sporting events, fundraisers. If you got a fundraiser, you don't know the logistical way to pull it off, they'll take care of everything. Entertainment events, branding events, grand openings, so much more. The folks at Extravaganza Productions are the most professional and the best. I've worked with them many times. They are fantastic. You can contact them through extravaganzaproductions.com or call 813-621-4700. Extravaganza Productions, they are awesome. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. Have you been injured in an accident, in an auto accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, at work, or at a place of business? Well, call the Jeeves Law Group and get the personal attention that you deserve. I made the mistake many, many years ago with going with one of the bigger law firms, the national law firms. And let me tell you, getting a call back from those folks was next to impossible. Weeks and weeks would go by, never get a call back. That doesn't happen with the Jeeves Law Group. Personal attention is what they're all about. When you call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to jeeveslawgroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to jeeveslawgroup.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Friday. We will be off on Monday, and as we observe Memorial Day holiday on Monday, I'm going to Chicago, so I will be reporting live from Chicago on Tuesday and Wednesday when the Rays are there. I'm going to go to the Rays games up there. So, the lovely Ashley and I are heading up there to see Cullen, my son, and Savannah, his girlfriend, and we're all four going to pile into the bleachers at Wrigley Field and drink Goose Island IPAs and eat hot dogs covered in macaroni and cheese, chili, onions, and everything else I could find on those fantastic Wrigley dogs.
There you go.
I cannot wait.
There you go.
It's going to be like 65, 70 degrees, sitting in the sun out in Wrigley Field. Oh, come on.
I had a friend that's in Chicago right now, and he sent me pictures yesterday. He was at the game, the Mets-Cubs game, and he was sitting kind of just off center, lower bowl just off center to home plate. Beautiful view and everything of the field and the scenery, and $27 ticket.
$27. How much are the outfield seats in Tropicana Field for this weekend's Dodgers series for tonight?
Over $60 with fees.
$60 with fees for an outfield seat. You can get a behind home plate seat at Wrigley Field for $27, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. And what do you think the attendance will be? I think it'll be big because the Dodgers haven't been here since 2007. He will. They'll rake the Dodger fans. I don't know how many Rays fans will be.
Retract what I said. Slight American alteration. Right? They were here in 2019, but it was just a little 2-game set. This is the first 3-game set since 2007.
All right. But interesting, fun to have the Dodgers come in, and the Rays. Two of the best teams in baseball. Andrew Friedman will be back in his haunts where it all started for him. So tomorrow is Glasnow versus Kershaw. Who we got tonight?
TBD.
You
get old TBD, man.
Old TBD's pitching tonight for the Rays.
Beeks, I'm just
get used to that.
I'm just kidding. Beeks is opening tonight, and I think Chriswell, I thought I read, was supposed to.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I
God.
don't mean to like, put somebody's career to bed already, but I have not seen one glimmer of what they see in Cooper Criswell since he's been up. Have you?
No,
I have not seen that at all.
I don't see the stuff.
And if they're trying to give him an extended look tonight, I will make a bet that by the 4th inning, Kevin Cash will pull the plug.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to go well. Not against this team.
No, this team is stacked. I don't think it'll go well. A couple other notes. R.C. Enerson from Newport Richie will be driving in the Indianapolis 500 this weekend. The Gulf High alumnus didn't merely qualify for one of the biggest races in the world. One has been tending since he was a toddler. He did so after a 2-year pause in his career.
I'm hoping I can get into that race, man. It's been a few years since I've really can I actually recall sitting down to watch it.
I've never been.
I'd like to go.
Never been. I hear it's a spectacle,
but
yeah,
I don't think
I had an opportunity to go this year, and
some of these events just don't feel as big as they used to be.
No,
the Indy 500
used to be one of the top, probably the top 5 events.
The Indy 500 now just kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah,
where you just go, I forgot.
There used to be a real Indy car league. The one they have now obviously does the Grand Prix here. They've had some stars, but they were the biggest stars back in my day. When I was growing up, Al Unser, AJ Foyt, they were the biggest motorsport stars in the world. Kind of like F1 is now.
Mm-hmm.
This was, by the way, the Monte Carlo Grand Prix is this weekend. I might watch that just because it's such a spectacle. It's a spectacle. And they'll get huge ratings for that. That's going to be on ABC, I believe. So there you go. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in each and every day this week. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Rays and Dodgers. Head on out there to Tropicana Field. Bring your 401k, get yourself some tickets, and enjoy yourself. I will be watching. I'll be out at the Pro Padel League tournament all weekend long up at Zephyr Hills at the Sarah Vandenberg Complex. Come on up and see me. It's free, and it is amazing stuff. If you're looking for something to do, just drop in, say hello. I'll give you a T-shirt and a hat. How about that? Come say hello. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend.